Hi guys, class 6. So, how was your Tuesday? So, today is Thursday and we are back again and we just hit through the chapter. I hope you all are doing fine. You're safe and sound and taking care of yourself, and you all are uh, washing your hands in time and you're keeping the social distancing. You don't have to be social distanced in the house. Parents also, you don't have to worry about that. So, just stay safe and stay at home and enjoy your life. This chance you'll never get, but at the same time you have to study, we have to study as well, isn't it? So don't worry, till I am there everything is going to be solved and taken care of in your SSC social science part. And if you have any other issues, please do feel free without hesitation, go ahead and type whatever you have in your mind, or if you want to know anything especially from my side, type it on the Hertford group and I'll obviously check it up and refer back and revert back to you with the solution, whatever is bothering you. And don't worry about anything else. And if you have any birthdays, please do put it on the Hartford group as well, so that I can wish you. Even if school is not there, we can wish each other. I can wish you on this videos. So that will be also not bad, as long as we receive the wish. It depends how we receive it. Okay. So where there is a will, there has to be a way also, and the whole world is fighting against this COVID. So you don't have to worry; everything will be taken care of. And the children are the first priority for the whole world. So you are in total think tank with the government, and everyone is thinking about you, how the school is going to open, how the school is going to run, what is going to happen to the syllabus. You don't have to worry anything about it. You just study and be in touch with your books. That is your job. Rest we will take care of. Okay, so let's start rocking, and we'll do SST. We were there on chapter 1 and I was there with you till that part where I left. I hope you're on that same page. We were on the page, I'll just remember the page, we were on 6, I guess. Yes, so we were on page 6. I'll just explain you where we were till, like I had left it till your, what do you say, that paragraph, the Indus and the Ganga plains are very fertile regions, right? And the last line was, I guess, favorable and are densely populated. Okay, so I'll just come brief you till here again, and by the end of this chapter my question answers are also ready for you, the long and the short ones. So I'll share it with you, so that, but before that I want you to understand this whole chapter. Okay, so, and the first chapter 1, studying the past, we were just wondering how, we were all wondering how people lived in the past, what did they eat, what did they wear, what kind of house did they live in, what games did the children play, what kind of schools they went. This all I explained to you. Okay, and the word history comes from the word Greek word histo, which means know. So that is, history is all about knowing about the past. Okay, so the word story, his story, means someone else's story we are digging out and we are trying to understand. So the study of history is all about the past. Time frame in history, I explained about the CE and the BC, AD, and the rest of that I told you. And after that we came to the geographical framework. Geography has played an important role in the history of India as well. A large country like India has diverse geographical factors, which I told you. There are high mountains, hot deserts, fertile rivers, valleys, and numerous rivers. The Himalayan mountains in the north act as a natural barrier between India and Central Asia. The passes in these mountains, however, acted as routes of contact. Since ancient times, people, soldiers, merchant, traders crossed over these passes to come into the country and brought in new ideas, shared their culture and our culture, and we tried to have a fusion within us. Okay, so, and after that we were studying, we were reading about the Indus and the Ganga plains are very fertile regions. So is the valley of the river Narmada. These river valleys were very areas where people settled down first. So because the scarcity of water, everywhere else there was a scarcity of water, but this place the water was available. So wherever there is water is a very important part in our life, isn't it? So they settled over next to these river valleys or these river places, and they developed The river served them as means of transport as well, like using boats and going to places, and the culture also developed, and it was not affected so much by outside influences. On the other hand, areas where the environment was fairly dense and populated. Okay, so it was all about that. So now, what are the sources of history? How do we get to know what are the actual sources of history? How do we come to know what are the things based on this history thing, so that we study specifically those things and we come to know what are these all about? Now, historical source, also known as historical material or historical data. Basic knowledge I want to give you. Excuse me. Historical source is all about historical material, or what are the things. So sources we are going to talk about as I go through. I just want to explain it to you. As historical material or historical data. What is data? Written records. Okay, data, you know what's in computer, it's all about the hardware and the software, what data you have, what documents you have inside. So that is all about documentation and what was there during that period of time in history. Again, we had that part in history which talks about three parts of history, right? One is the framing in history is divided into three parts, which I told you. One is prehistory, one is proto-history, and one is history, right? What was the prehistory? Prehistory period is the time when writing had not been invented. Proto-history is the period for which the time we have written records, however few are not able to be found, because main source of information for this period, example the Indus Valley period civilization we get. And history is the time period after the invention of writing. Okay, early writing was done on rock pillars, copper plates, clay tablets, palm leaves, and on bark leaves and birch trees. This information we know. So now we are going to come to this sources. What is all this sources about? What are the sources we get to know from this archaeological part of history? So historical source, also known as a historical material or historical data, is original source, or rather is an original source that contain important historical information. Means about the past, about someone or something or some place. These sources are something that inform us about history at the most basic level. Ground zero we get. Okay, we start from ground zero. That is how we get from the archaeological side. Ground zero is ground, and then they start digging, we get down to the part of it. And these sources are used as clues in order to study the historical sources, or rather the information. Clear? So I'll tell you this again. Is historical source is also known as historical material or historical data. In original source that contain important historical information. What is the excuse me, what is the original source? Like suppose we find something while digging, we find a rod, we find a stone, we find a plate, or we find a palm leaf or something. So that's the original source. From that original source we try to take out the clues, like what can this be, what is this about, what was written. So this is how we have to study into it and take out the information from that original source. It's clear? Now, what are the sources include? It must be in your book. As far as I know, if I am not wrong, it's there in your book, whatever I am saying. Documents, artifacts, archaeological sites, features, oral transmissions, stone inscriptions, paintings, recorded sounds, images. In the images part, we see photographs, motion pictures, and oral history. Even ancient relics and ruins. Now, if I say ancient relics, what are relics? In religion, a relic usually consists of physical remain of a saint or the personal effects of that saint or venerated person preserved for a purpose of veneration as a tangible memorial. which cannot get spoiled. Relics are important aspect of some forms of Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Islam, and Samanis. The bodies of the saints were kept, some documents were kept. So like this, that is the relics. And what are the ruins? Ruins are the remains of human-made architecture. Structures that were intact have fallen down. As time went into a state of partial or total disrepair due to lack of maintenance or deliberate actions of destruction, that is war, natural disaster, war, population decline are the most common root causes for ruins when a thing gets ruined. Suppose your house or my house, I have left my house and come, and if I lock my house and come, if I don't go years and years and years, slowly it's going to get spoiled. Excuse me. Even if I buy a bike and I don't use it, if it's kept there, slowly it is going to get, it will get rusted. It will not come in use. The tires will become flat. The tires will start cracking. The tube will not work properly. The mobile is going to dry up. The petrol is going to evaporate. It's not going to work properly. So anything that is left and it starts getting ruined because of the atmosphere, climate and weather. Now what I said of this historical sources include documents, artifacts, archaeological sites, features, oral transmissions, stone inscriptions, paintings, recorded sounds. But it's not about the part where we are in. This is the basic knowledge how we get information from sources. I am trying to explain what is historical source. How do we try to pull it out? Now there are three parts: primary source, secondary source, oral sources, and we have the literary sources, the tertiary source. Now what's the primary source? In study of history, as an academic discipline, if we study through schooling and if we go through it in a disciplined way, is a source of artifact, drawing, diary, manuscript, autobiography, recording, or any other source of information that was created at that time under someone's knowledge. It serves as an original source of information about that topic. Okay? So what was it? What is the primary source? Primary source is the study of suppose a painting was found in Rome. A painting was found in Rome or a painting was found in Delhi. That shows the example of Akbar or Babar or anybody, any person during that time, how the people looked, what did they wear. Obviously in that painting they won't be without clothes, they'll be with clothes. It's not about early humans, it's about records. Okay, proto-history, prehistory. Prehistory there was no writing, so we don't get anything, we get only what? Sources like coins and all that, whatever physical sources. During these artifacts we get this information. So in the primary source, what we call is a primary source in the study of history is also called an original source, is an artifact, something to details with art, like artifact, document, diary, manuscript, autobiography. What is a diary? Suppose, why do you have this homework notebook or this homework diary in your school? You have to write the diary, we have a special period for it. That source, that is an original source. Suppose you don't do your homework, then we check your homework and your parents say that child does not do any homework, you are not giving any homework. See, this is the homework. It is signed by me, the homework was given. So that is a source of history. So that is gone in the past. Next day when you come to school, suppose today is the 21st and 20th, whatever you have written has become past for us. So when you come on the 21st, we know what we have given to you on the 20th. That is a type of diary. Manuscripts, autobiographies, recording, or any other source of information that was created at that time of studying. It serves as an original source of information about that topic, isn't it? Similar definitions can be used in library science. and other areas of scholarship, although different fields, or there are so many different definitions. In journalism, we can get that primary source can be a person with direct knowledge of a situation, okay, or a document written by such a person. Suppose a person who is studying history, he's dug into it and he's studying all about archaeology and all that, and suddenly he writes something. So we get information from that. That is upon depending upon what type of primary source did that person give us the information. Primary sources are again defined as secondary sources as well, which cite, comment on, or build upon primary sources. By seeing primary sources or what the primary source information has given, we depend, the secondary sources depends on that, and it gets more developed. Generally, accounts with the written after the fact with the benefit and possible distortions of insight are secondary. Okay, that is that. Primary source, we got the information, that is written down, that is printed, it goes into the library. So what we get from the library is the secondary source. We don't get the primary source. The actual source was written by somebody else, was seen by somebody else. That is the secondary. A secondary source may also be a primary source depending how it is used, how we get the information of it. What was archived, we still see it, we see the picture, okay, this was that, this is also written here in the primary source. In the secondary source, in the library we are reading, this is also written, so the picture is also given. Okay, so this is the primary source, we can use this information as a primary source. Example, a memoir would be considered a primary source in research concerning its author, or about his friend or his or her friends characterized within it. Okay, but the same memoir would be secondary source if we were to examine the culture in its author lived. Suppose a writer has written a book, okay, the author has written the book, his memories he's written, so we get hold of that book, so that someone has written, but that is his written records, so that we can use as a primary source. He tells about everything about himself. Okay, we will not go details into it, like it will be very tough for you. So these are the things which depend upon the sources. Okay, so we have the primary source and the secondary source. Now, how do we classify these significance of sources? Okay, how do we classify the primary source and the secondary source? This also I'll tell you later, but I was just trying to tell you what are the basic things happens. So I'll come back in the next video and I'll explain it to you. Okay, till then just be there and I'll come back. We'll be there on the same page.